All right. How we doing? What's going on? We should be live now. Let me just double check in the group. Right. All right, let me just make sure the live stream is working. Then we should be good. All right. Cool. So in today's live, I'm going to be breaking down how I automated my design agency and fulfilled on over 165 projects without my involvement and without employees. All right. So we're going to be going deep today, as usual, breaking down everything that I went through so that you can implement the same inside of your own business. All right. So I just want to make sure that we are live. Yeah, view on Facebook and on YouTube at the moment. All right, so let me just drop the link to those of you guys who are tuning in, and let me know where you're tuning in from, what part of the world you're in. Always cool to hear about where everyone's at. So let me just quickly drop a link to everyone that's requesting it, and then we will go ahead and dive on in to the live. All right. So I also have a Google Doc, as you'll see, that I'm going to be taking you through. If you want a copy of this, it will be live on our website at predictablegrowth.io/resources. So that will be live momentarily once we have everything ready to go. All right. So, all right, I think we are all set now to dive in. I just dropped a link. So we about to get into it here. But yeah, let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Drop a comment, let me know. And also let me know what kind of business you guys are running. If you have any questions, drop them and I will get to them at the end of the training. I always like to reserve, 5-10 minutes or so for questions. So yeah, let's get going. All right. So here's what we're going to cover today: how I automated my agency without code, employees, or sacrificing quality of work. All right. So this live and case study will reveal how I automated my design agency operations to fulfill over 165 client projects without code, employees, or sacrificing quality. All right, so let's get into just a brief background for those of you who maybe are new to the group, new to the channel. I'll just give you a super quick run through about what was going on at this point in my life. And so if you want to also just read more of my story, you can go to the Predictable Growth website and the Different Hunger blog. So I quit my job March 25th, 2016 as a freelance web designer and developer. Over the next 1 to 2 years, I bootstrapped from zero to hundreds of projects and clients and multiple six figures. During this time, I also managed to build a team of 25 plus contractors. Most of them did not speak English, and these guys were able to help me fulfill on 165 client projects, all without my involvement and all without a single employee. All right, so here you can see one of our spreadsheets where we collected payments, and you can see 175 different projects, ranging from small logos all the way up to, custom web development, right? So since this happened, I've also helped hundreds of other business owners automate their operations so that they can earn more, work less, and free their minds. All right. So if you're tuning in and you're wondering how to get out of the weeds, how to get out of the daily grind, this is going to be for you. All right. And it's important to understand the philosophy behind automation as well. Okay. So a lot of people want to automate, right? It's one of those buzzwords. It's one of those super popular, um, trendy things, right? But not everyone is a fit for automation. And so let me first kind of break down why automation is important. Okay. So automation is important because let me know if you started your business so that you could achieve freedom and a sense of liberation. All right. Let me know. Drop a comment. Yes. All right. So, most business owners started their business to achieve freedom from it. Yet, most people are trapped inside their business. And what that means is that if your business cannot grow and operate without you, you have a job, not a business. All right. And now that's okay, right? Like having a job is okay. Let's say you're a self employed job owner, right? That's okay for a few months, right? Like if you're starting a brand new business, you have to be in that job, right? You can't automate typically a brand new business. But, I'll talk to people who've been business owners for 5, 10 years, and they're still grinding away day by day inside the business. All right. So that's what we want to avoid, right? Because again, we want your business to serve you and serve your ideal life vision, right? And so once you implement automation, you can enjoy less costs, more profit, more time, and more value. Specifically, your business is going to be worth way more, right? So if any of you guys want to sell your business, you're going to be able to command multiple times more for your business with automation than without, right? Like I know business owners running multiple 7-figure agencies that literally cannot sell their business because of the lack of automation and systems inside the business. So what good is that? Right? Like, yeah, they're making some money, but really their margins suck because they lack all these systems. Right. So, again, let's go back to why we started. We started so that we can enjoy our lives. Right. So we got people tuning in from Dubai, Medellin, and that's exciting always. We got friends from Medellin, from Dubai. Awesome. And yeah, it sounds like you guys started your business so that it would liberate you. All right. Now, automation also brings up a lot of limiting beliefs. So I want to dive into this. All right. Now, when I talk about automation, a lot of people, their first response is, nobody can design websites like I can. All right. Let me know if you've ever said that. Nobody can sell like I can. Nobody can create marketing campaigns like I can. All right. Nobody can create social media content and social media content plans like I can. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found yourself saying that. All right. And now I am a lifetime student of psychology. I graduated from Emory with a degree in psychology, studied at Johns Hopkins as well. And so I'm always psychoanalyzing everything. And so when somebody says nobody can blank like I can, what this really means is I'm scared of giving up control. Okay. It means that. It also means I don't trust anyone. It also means I want to continue carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. In other words, I want to continue being the bottleneck. All right. So let me know if this resonates with any of you guys. All right. Let me know if this is bringing anything up, right? Because again, if you're saying, nobody can do this like I can, again, what you're saying is, I'm afraid to give up control and I'm afraid to trust people. Okay. So let me know if this resonates. And so this is a link to a Mr. Beast video that I'll link to in the comments. Sorry, 1 second. Norita. Sorry, we got some Starbucks delivery here. So this is a video of Mr. Beast talking about how he cloned himself and how cloning himself is essential to his success. Oreo wants to say hi. That's Oreo. Yeah, you gonna stop and let me talk more? All right, thank you. And so that's a great video that I'll link to. All right, another common limitation is everything we do is custom. We can't automate that. All right. So what this really means is my business is unsustainable and cannot scale in its current form. Right? Because if you can't automate anything inside your business, then man, that sounds like chaos. Right? And that sounds like, it's a one person business, really. Right? And so there are parts of your business that must be custom. And I'm not saying that, that should be ignored. Right? But what I'm saying is your business model must adapt. Okay? And then the third thing I hear a lot is, I don't want to sacrifice my quality of work with automation. All right. And now what this really means is, I don't understand that automation actually increases my quality of work. Why? Because you have repeatable systems and you have a machine that is designed to improve quality of work and to generate predictable outcomes. All right. So let me know, which one of these are you guys resonating the most with? Nobody can blank like I can. Everything we do is custom, and I don't want to sacrifice my quality of work. Let me know in the comments which ones of these resonate the most. I saw that you guys said that fear of giving up control is big, right? Like I totally get that. It is big. All right, so let me know in the comments which one of these are really resonating the most. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Awesome. So we're going to get into all this. All right. And then the next thing is, who is a fit for automation? Right. Because again, I hear people all the time. It's like, I just started my business. I want to automate everything. It's like, yeah, good luck, buddy. Because here's the thing, you have to have a proven skill set, process, and methodology. If you have that, you're ready to automate. And more importantly, if you have happy clients that already refer you to other clients, that is a sign that you have a great process and a methodology that can be ready for automation. All right. The fourth thing here is, third, so we got the numbers mixed, is you have a dedicated niche. So having a niche is going to dramatically allow for more automation, right? Because I know so many of you guys are working with so many different clients and so many different niches. And then you're telling me, oh man, I'm burned out. I'm stressed out of my mind. Well, the reason for that is because of this, right? You don't have a dedicated niche. All right. So we'll get into that more. And then who is automation not a fit for? Well, it's not a fit if you're a brand new business owner, you're experimenting, and you're developing your skills and you don't have a proven track record, right? if you're in that situation, you need to focus on getting results and just honing your skills to be world class at a very specific thing. All right. So that is who automation is a fit and not a fit for. All right. So now let me break down the org chart for automated, hyper profitable operations. All right. Got my Starbucks finally. Here's to Starbucks. All right. So the employeeless org chart. So I have a link to a video on LinkedIn where you can check this out. And so basically, this is the org chart. All right. Let me know if you guys can see okay and if I need to change anything. All right. Everything we do is custom 2 and 3, losing control of quality. All right. Awesome. Thank you guys. That's great. We're going to dive into that. All right. So this is the org chart. Well, that's me. And then this is the org chart. So org chart, owner/founder, operator, and then production on Fiverr, and then sales contractors. That's it. All right. I really don't want to get any more complicated than that. Okay. And, this is coming from someone that has built big teams. And after many, many hundreds of thousands of dollars invested, close to $500,000, probably more. I have to look at those numbers again. This is the simplest, most peaceful org structure that I have found. Okay. So it involves me, the visionary and founder. It involves an operations manager who's an integrator. And then everyone else are contractors. That's it. Okay. So that's it. It's that simple. All right. Now, this isn't a live stream to convince you that this is the best model. This is just how I've done it and how I continue to do it and how I help other people do it. All right. So that's the org chart. Simple AF. All right. That's how I like it. And if you're like me, that's how you like it too. All right. So I've hired hundreds of contractors. And if you guys are looking for contractors, we do have on our roadmap a plan to launch a somewhat of a Fiverr marketplace, but very specific to design development and creatives. So if that's interesting, let me know, and I'll send you a link to fill out some info and get that over. All right. So this is the org chart. All right. Let me know. What do you guys think about this org chart? Does your current org chart look like this? Do you have more people, less people? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, if you guys want access to this doc, I can share it. No problem. So now let's get into the roadmap. All right. So how do we go from being an operator, somebody that is a founder/operator that's working every single day in the business, to a board member that checks in with the business once a month, maybe once a quarter? All right. So let me talk you through the step-by-step roadmap to make this happen. So there's 5 levels. Level 1, you're the operator. All right. So what that means is you're the glue holding the business to get together. If you get sick or need to take a week off, your business stops. The problem, you can't grow without working harder and longer, meaning your earning potential is capped. The business is not sustainable or scalable, and you are the bottleneck, right? That is the definition of a job, not a business, right? So what's the solution? The solution, document and systemize processes for at least one core business pillar so you can hire a right-hand man or woman, likely a project or operations manager. So this guy right here, the operator, right? All right. And that timeline, that can be 6 months or so, maybe more. So that's level one. Level two is you're the manager. All right. So what is that situation? You have a small core team led by project or operations manager, which allows you to focus on higher value activities like marketing, sales, or client success. You can take some time off, but generally are still required to manage, supervise, and maintain quality. Problem: you're wearing many hats and getting a bit spread thin. The business is a bit more scalable, but still does not provide the level of freedom you truly desire. Solution: streamline holistic business processes so you can install dedicated management team and focus exclusively on the highest value tasks. All right, so that's level two. So we go from operator to manager to level three, which is owner. You have a dedicated management team and are close to being fully removed, which feels amazing. You're spending more time training up your management team instead of working in the business. You're incredibly close to the level of freedom you desire, but are still required to support your team and operations on a weekly basis. And the solution: develop and install performance management systems so your team can function autonomously without your supervision. All right. And now, guys, let me be honest, this can take a while, right? Like this whole roadmap can take years and will likely take years, right? I'm not here to sell you quick fixes. I'm here to be realistic and share my personal experience. All right. So, level one to level three, we're looking at anywhere from maybe 3-6 months on the low end to, maybe a year or more on the high end. All right. So after owner is board member. All right. So that's level four. That's when you really have achieved that level of freedom that, most of us are seeking. Situation: you have the freedom to work when you want on what you want, because whether you show up or not, your business is now a cash flow machine that works on autopilot. Your team is happy, clients are happy, best of all, you're happy because you only need to check in on the business a few times a quarter. You have the time and space to spend your time how you want and are looking for investments to acquire assets to further compound your wealth. All right. So, guys, let me know, which level are you at? From level one, operator, level two, manager, level three, owner, and level four, board member. Where are you guys at? Let me know in the comments here. All right. So, level one, we got just me at the moment. Operator, got it. Great. No worries. I mean, you're in the right place here, my friend. All right. So we got, yep, 3 operators. Awesome. All right, guys. Perfect. Well, let's dive in. All right. So let's get into the process to automate operations and fire yourself. All right. So here we go. There's 3 phases. All right. Now, this is a tested and proven framework. This is what I used to implement. I'm literally going to be showing you the documents that I created many years ago, and then also referencing some new stuff. All right. So this is the framework to automate operations and fire yourself by building a machine that works without you. All right. It's really important that you get into this machine mentality, right? Because a machine is, it has an engine, it has systems, it has gasoline, it has energy. And, you can let a machine run on its own, right? That's what we want your business to do. Okay. So inside of our accelerator program, we have helped some founders implement this whole transformation and fire themselves within 57 days, which is a little bit under 2 months. But more realistically, this process is going to take longer, 2 to 12 months, maybe even more. All right. So there's 3 phases. One is designing the machine. Phase 2 is Phase 2 is building the machine. And then phase 3 is automating the machine. All right, so let's get into it. Now, the first step that I like to start at, because just with my type of brain, I need visuals. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do and that I recommend doing is map the workflow at a high level. Okay. So get out a journal, get out a notebook, get out a virtual notebook, whatever it is, and just map out your process end to end. Okay. So this is the exact workflow that helped me automate the agency, right? So it starts with the creative director. I clarify and confirm everything with the project manager. And then basically, the project manager takes everything else and runs with it all the way to project completion, right? So start here, all right? And just keep it very high level, all right? So start out with the workflow, just map it out. All right, that's the first step of phase one. Step two of phase one is define the phases, the steps, and the financials. All right, so now we're going to be getting a little bit more granular. All right, and I have a worksheet here for you guys to implement this. All right, this is directly from our accelerator program. So, I'm sharing this. It's very valuable stuff. It's been proven to work and, help companies grow. And I'm sharing it for free because I want you guys to just fucking crush it. All right. So once you have this high level map, okay, and this is a little bit more granular than probably you need to get. But once you have this, then you want to get more granular. All right. What's phase one? What's step one? And then what are also the financials, right? So what I do and what I recommend people do, again, you can use this worksheet, is input the step, you define the type of step, right? You define the role, you estimate the high or low time period, right? So on the low end, this could take, 20 minutes. On the high end, this could take 2 hours. That will allow us to project costs, right? And so by the end of completing this worksheet, and let me just pull it up and just talk through it a little bit. So by the end of this worksheet, you're going to basically have productized your fulfillment system, right? And again, just to clarify, today we're not talking about automating sales or marketing. We're talking about automating client fulfillment, specifically client fulfillment, right? So by the end of this, you will have a productized delivery system with accountability, with projected costs and projected margins. All right. So on this document here, after you plug this in, this is automatically going to calculate your margins and your costs based on your target prices, right? So this is another hugely powerful exercise because, again, you can use this to set your margins at the level that you desire. And again, like in my perspective, my goal is to make as much profit as possible while still delivering an exceptional customer experience, right? As I'm sure yours is, right? So for margins here, these are going to roll up into the next sheet that you can see on the screen here in a moment because it's slow. There we go. All right, so you can see the cost, the phase costs total, and then the profit, and then the profit margin. All right, so this is a hugely transformational exercise that you guys can implement. All right, so that is step two of phase one. The third and final step is to really just take this to to the most granular level as possible, right? So you're getting into the nitty gritty. All right, so you can see up here my workflow that I created. Then what I did is, and this is also linked on the doc, I basically annotated and transcribed that visual workflow into a Google Doc to complement the visual, right? So that my team members And my project manager, my operations manager, has the visual. He also has the detailed document step by step by step by step, right? And then to add another layer, you can add a video walkthrough of just bringing everything together, kind of what I'm doing right now, right? So here you can see, you know, step by step by step by step by step, right? We get very, 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 very granular, okay? All right. So that is phase one. All right. So once you've done phase one, then it's time to build this out. All right. But it always starts with the visual map. And then we get into the phases and the steps broken down. And then we finish with the documentation. All right. That's phase one. Now, phase two is building the machine. All right. So now we've designed the machine. We've created the blueprint, right? So as a web designer or a web developer, from that perspective, we've created the wireframe, right? We've created the sitemap. Now we need to actually design the website, and then we actually have to develop it, right? So phase two, we're building the machine. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is you want to implement all of this into a project and task management system. All right. So for us at the time, we were using Trello. Okay. Trello is awesome. I love Trello. And so we had a Trello board with a bunch of templates. We had a bunch of automations that fed into the Trello board, which I'll get into. But these were the core stages. First, to do, team member assigned. That was like the first action item. Next is doing. Next is ready for internal review. Then next is awaiting client feedback. And then the last step is done. So once it hits done, that means the client signed off, client's happy, and we are happy because the project's done. All right. So you want to take the previous steps and implement all of this into a project and task management system, which can be Trello. We use Asana now today, but whatever works for you. Okay. Now, the next thing is once you have the documentation, you have the project management system set up, then you want to start actually assigning tasks. Okay. And so I'll show you how we did this. We had a Google form. I really, really, really like forms. I recommend using forms as much as possible because forms are going to standardize your workflow, right? Because, you know, if you're using the same form over and over again, that's going to keep things very simple and allow for more automation. All right, so this is how all of our projects started in terms of production. And it says what deliverable is required, what's the deadline, when should you be available for revisions, what's the budget, what are the instructions, reference files, and then any other relevant links. All right. So this, we would submit this, and then it would push to the Trello board as well as to the Slack channel. Okay. Then once the tasks are assigned to your team, you want to then also implement daily and weekly reporting. Okay. So my operations manager, he had a daily report and he also had a weekly report, right? And now one step that I'm going to add here is train operations manager. Yeah, so I just want to add this in because again, you know, this is kind of a given, but whoever you hire to be your operations manager, you know, you're going to want to go through all of this stuff with them a few times for a few weeks and just make sure that, you know, everything is straightforward before you just kind of boom, let them do their thing, obviously, right? All right. So the daily and weekly reporting is huge because after my operations manager, who was in India at the time, his name is Shavam. After I kind of let him go off and just manage all the company operations. With these daily reports, I was able to get a very clear picture of what's going on, right? So I'm asking him, share a win. What are some issues you had? What are some lessons learned? What do you need help with? Any exceptional work by our team members, any big company wins, right? And then I also had another section after this. Okay. And so this is where I asked him, where he maybe needs some support from me, right? Because I was supporting him from a creative director. Like I would basically come in, give him the entire plan and direction, and then he would handle everything else, right? And so then the third section was just like, are there any deliverables that are behind schedule or need extra attention? And then this was about optimizations. And then lastly, what are his MITs for tomorrow? So look, I mean, this is a beast of a report. I think we simplified this a little bit later on, but again, if you can have your operations manager go through this level of detail on a daily basis, then you don't need to micromanage whatsoever, because you can literally just go to the spreadsheet or the form and be like, boom, every single thing I need to know is right here. So he did this on a daily basis. And then we also had a weekly report. All right. So that's huge for accountability, especially among remote teams. All right. And then once you have all of this set up, right? So you have the machine designed, you have it documented, you have the project and task management set up, you have tasks assigned, you have daily and weekly reports. Then you get everything into a dedicated playbook. And this is what our playbook looked like, right? So we had phase 0 to 5, right? And then inside of each phase, I had templates, I had forms, I had, copy paste text, right? Like it was as detailed as possible. All right. And then this playbook just serves as like the Bible for your operations, right? No matter what needs to be done, it can be figured out inside of the playbook, right? That is how important this document is. All right. So let me know if this makes sense, guys, if this resonates, if this is helpful. Yeah, I know I'm covering a lot here, but just want to make sure it's all registering. All right. So that is building the machine, right? And once you have this playbook, I mean, having a playbook is just such a huge step in this process, right? Because it just brings so much clarity. All right. And that's phase 2. Now, phase 3, okay. And, phase 2 and phase 3 are very much connected, but, I just wanted to kind of separate them for explanation purposes. But there's a few more things going on here. One is you want to have reminders and notifications for all project management, right? So one thing I really like about Asana is that it has those built-in reminders and notifications. But whatever you use, you want to have a daily reminder and notification for all the tasks that your team needs to execute on, right? Okay. And then with Zapier, you're going to be able to glue everything together. All right. So to give you an example, we would submit this design brief. All right. This design brief form would generate a Trello card, which would then generate a Slack message, which would then end up in our contractor Slack channel and say, hey guys, we have a new project. Here's the details. Basically first come, first serve, essentially, unless it was a project where we're like, boom, we need to hire this guy, right? And so that's how it worked. And then after this was assigned, my project manager or my operations manager, Shubham, would confirm the scope with all the contractors, and the work would begin. And I'm not involved, right? And so Zapier is just such an amazing tool to really bring everything together, right? So you can have Google Forms, talk to Slack, talk to Trello, and just unite everything. Okay. And then the final step to really automating the business is implementing stress tests. All right. So we started doing this inside of our accelerator program, and it's been really cool because it works, And so what we do is, after this is set up, after these phases are implemented, we're like, boom, you need to take a week off this business quarter. So schedule it and book that trip right now. All right. And then that trip is booked. Right. And then that person goes away. And most of the time, most operations are just fine. However, there's definitely going to be a few things where you're like, okay, so this didn't, like, for example, my operations guy, he wasn't sure what to do here. So what that means is I need to go back to the playbook and maybe add some explanations around how to do that thing, for example, right? So you do a 1 week stress test. Then next, you do a 2 week stress test, maybe another quarter later, right? And then you identify, all right, what's breaking, what's not working, what needs to be improved upon, what needs to be optimized. And then boom, you have your second stress test done. And then we get into the big kahuna here, which is a month off. Right? So you're going to actually book a month off of your business, which, that's going to be scary for a lot of people. But how are you going to know if your business is automated unless you take a month off or more, right? So, after these first few stress tests, then you're going to take this big one. And then the big one is taking a whole quarter off, right? Now, again, let's say we did this like the next 90 days, for example. And then this, the next 6 months, right? And then this, maybe the next 12 months, right? And then this, maybe the next 18 months, right? You want to gradually work your way up and up and up and up. But I'm telling you, even after you take a week off, your brain is going to explode because you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm free, right? And so, this is a huge, huge practice that, we've seen great results with in our own business and then with our clients. All right. So that's it. Phase 3, automating the machine, reminders, notifications, Zapier to glue everything together, and implement stress tests. Obviously there's a lot more to all this. And, we only have about an hour today. So, I can only go so deep, but that's what I got for you guys today. All right. So let me know any questions, anything that resonated. Let me know in the comments, and I'll spend the last few minutes here supporting you guys, answering questions, diving deeper. All right. And thank you for all the feedback. You guys have been great. Thank you for commenting, sharing your thoughts and feedback. It's been really helpful to better understand, where you guys are at. All right. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I will get you guys access to this document as well, which will have a lot of the templates that I mentioned. But yeah, I hope this was really helpful for you guys. And let me know what questions I can answer for you here. All right. All right. Amazing system. Thank you. Everything we do is custom, resonated back when I was talking about limiting beliefs. Losing control of quality makes a lot of sense, guys. You know, we've been there before. Do I do one-on-one with companies? I do with qualified companies. So if you want to discuss that, take a look at our accelerator page here. I'll drop a link. And just send me a DM and we can chat. So yeah, I do some one-on-one, but we also have our monthly sales challenge, and we have some more one-to-many offerings. But yeah, I do occasionally do some one-on-one. Yes, that looks amazing. Now understanding the automation is the key. Yes. So yeah, in terms of automation, the simpler you can keep your systems and automations and the less tools you can use, the better, right? So that's why I love niching down to a specific service within a very specific niche. That's really going to help you out. Okay. And let me drop a link now in the comments here. All right. And that's going to include all the templates. And yeah, guys, if you found value from this, just go ahead and invite your friends, anyone else that would find value to this, to the Facebook group. You know, we're actively growing this community, and I really want to just change how the world works, specifically how founders operate, because I think that so many founders are so talented, but because they lack the knowledge or expertise around some of the things that like I covered today, they don't reach their potential. And not only that, but their mental health suffers and their quality of life suffers, right? And so you know, I want to help you guys earn more and work less and free your minds. All right, that's the very simple mission here. So if that resonates and you know anyone else who you think I would resonate with, just go ahead and share a link to our group. And I look forward to welcoming some new members. All right. So, and for those of you guys that are tuning in later on, feel free to drop questions on this post and reach out if you do have any other questions. Otherwise, it looks like I have to, oops. Yeah, so I will share the link now inside of the Facebook group, and we should be good. All right, guys. So yeah, any other questions here before we wrap? Let me know. This has been another weekly edition of our weekly live. So looks like you guys, I'm glad you guys enjoyed. And yeah, let's help y'all earn more and work less, my friends. So right now, let me drop a few links. All right, so all right, so I'm dropping the guide inside the Facebook group. Boom. All right, that is that. Okay, so 2 questions. How did you vet your contractors? All right. great question. So I vetted my contractors by looking at their portfolios. You know, we're talking about designers and developers. So design, you look and I'm like, boom, I like it, right? However, you can have a good portfolio and a shitty work ethic, as I'm sure we are all aware. And so I typically give everyone a small trial task during onboarding, um, before they really become like one of our core vetted team members. And when I say team members, you know, they're still contractors, but they're actively working on the majority of projects, right? So yeah, that's how I vetted contractors. And the other thing that I did that was like ridiculously effective was when I did find good contractors, I asked them if they had any other referrals that they could bring us. And when I did that, they didn't really send me referrals. But then I said, "Hey, I'll give you $100 for every referral you send me." And then boom, they started sending me all of their friends. And so I basically ended up with like multiple design studios and agencies in Southeast Asia specifically, from that one tactic. And that allowed us to really take on and scale a lot more work, right? So yeah, let me know if that answers your question, Anthony, in terms of vetting. In terms of one-on-one offerings, so what are the one-to-many offerings available? All right, so let me go to our website and just show you. So we are actually doing a live sales challenge Monday, starting Monday. All right, so what we're going to do during that time, that's going to be happening once a month at the last week of the month. Typically, this month is a little funky, but that's going to be a live sales challenge that's going to help you productize and sell your productized offer, or help you create and sell a new productized offer. All right, so that is a one-to-many offering. That is $197. If you want access for $99, I can get you a discount code since you're a member of the community. All right, so that is our primary offering. Then from there, we have an accelerator program. And so the accelerator program is for qualified firms. So we have it's basically advisory plus management, right? So depending on what level you're at, we have either like a group cohort based program available, or we have one-on-one advisory, or we have one-on-one advisory plus management. And what that means is that you get access to me as your advisor, and then you also get access to me and my team to go out and implement and run various growth campaigns for you, as well as help you with some automation on the back end. Right now, obviously, that's a very high touch offering, and so we only take on like 1 to 2 clients a month for that offering, whereas the others are a little bit more scalable. So yeah, you know, depending on what you're looking for, let me know. I can shoot you a message and we can sort it out. But yeah, that's basically our offerings that we have available. And all of that can be found on the Predictable Growth website. So yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, let me know what other questions you guys have. Happy to stick around and support as much as I can. And thank you guys for tuning in and for all the feedback. I appreciate it a lot. All right, guys. Well, if there's no other questions, I'll wait just one more minute. If you got any last things, let me know. I will send a link to the 72-hour sales challenge as well as the accelerator. All right. Yeah, Anthony, thank you for tuning in, amigo. Anthony is ready for the challenge coming up on Monday here. I think Farouk, you're also going to be joining us and a few others. So I'm very excited for you guys. That's going to be a game changer. And then the accelerator link, I'm sending that. Boom. All right. All right. Links shared. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you have any questions, let me know. I will see you on the next video. Peace and love.